Roger that.
Alright guys, we're back after a short break. Hopefully you guys went and got some food or did whatever. We have Dragon versus Scorpion, Ozil Goazil versus Fordream, which is a very interesting matchup. And we actually have we have a decent amount of insight that we can give for this matchup, being both of us Dragon players. Uh, Kingsley, what do you want to go ahead and take a look at Ozil's list and just kind of mark any differences between maybe our lists?
Yeah, so we got here a dragon deck.
I have it on stream.
Yeah, so some of you have probably seen the dragon deck that I posted and that the dragon crab that several people are using. The This is basically very similar to that. I think the dynasty deck is actually exactly the same. The main difference is he's not playing charge, and he's on two bonsai and two ornate fan instead of three. And in exchange, he added three Daimyo's Favor and one Tagashi Kazue. So he has a little more economy in the deck, and he has that sneaky Kazue to mess up opponents, especially those without any attachment control.
Yeah, his dynasty side looks exactly the same, and everything else looks the same. Let's go ahead and take a look at Fordream's list. It looks to be an exact 80 card mirror of what Kalimsha just played, right down to the provinces and everything. So we did just see this list. So this list, it has three calling in favors, which is so calling in favors and a fate worse than death. I think are the two most important cards out of the Scorpion conflict deck. Would you?
Yep, I agree. I think calling favors means that it will not be possible for Dragon to play Gashi Kazue as an attachment. It is far too risky.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if he does like get his character to stick around for one more turn, like the next turn of calling favors gets drawn, it just like can ruin the day.
One other thing, though, that's going to be quite important is the Pathfinder's Blade. Dragon has probably the best provinces in the game right now. They have like 3 out of 4 provinces that they run in the normal provinces are usually things that are really going to jack you up, which is to say that they have Feast or Famine, Restoration Balance, and Shameful Display in provinces.
Mm-hmm.
All of those are great for the Pathfinder's Blade to shut down.
I would say that it's even like for both sides, Pathfinder's Blade being important also for the Dragon player. They can stop the break on, or they can break public form in one go. They can stop a secret cache when it's important, and also Shameful Display.
Yeah, and some people, I believe, don't use some people actually don't use their Pathfinder's Blades to prevent secret cache. I think you absolutely should. I think secret cache is a very strong card, and it's important to prevent your opponent from using it.
Awesome. Let's go ahead, and I'm just trying to see if these players have the game going. So I'm just messaging them real quick.
Sounds good.
Oh, the game is up right now. The password is Kazue. They actually put it in the game.
Wow. That's a funny password. You know, I might well be proven wrong in this aspect, but I somewhat suspect that Kazue is not going to be incredibly. Why did they put the password in the title of the game? That's a little odd.
Yeah, I don't know. I did message him on Discord for the password. So
All right, we're getting a little lag here. It's trying to join the game.
oh, yep, there you go. I see you in the spectators now.
I don't see myself in the game yet.
Oh, okay. When we're not in the game, we're still in lobby.
Oh, cool.
All right, so the game has just started.
Yeah, I'm still trying to connect here.
Oh, okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about mulligans. Let's see who won the die roll. So let's see. It looks like Fordream won the die roll and chose to go second.
That is the standard pick. I think it's correct basically all the time. So
What
I don't
about?
know. I think in Lion
I was
Mirror,
gonna ask about Lion specifically because picking Ring for them and also Lion's probably Brawler.
So if you're on a 40 card deck and you mulligan anything that isn't an LPB, you have a like 49% chance or something to get an LPB on the first turn. And by itself, I don't know that that's enough to make you do it, but it does mean that if you're playing against another Lion, I think you might actually want to go first.
That's fair. Maybe some Lions in chat can comment on what their opinions are, or anyone in the Discord. I would love to hear.
And
opinions.
maybe also useful to go first against Crane. G Challenger can often have a similar effect to LPB when going first in terms of forcing someone to not use their character or use their character inefficiently.
I would also just like to mention that.
Whoa!
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just saw this flip. The Dragon player has 3 copies of Miyamoto Retsugu. That is wild.
That is insane. This flip is actually very strong, I think.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So this is a really good flip, especially against the drop bear strategy, because Scorpion passing first doesn't do anything. In that it will allow, you probably play Retsugu with 1 fate and then
load him up to 3.
Yeah. Or you play him maybe with 2 fate and a Scorpion plays another guy thinking that you're going to...
Oh, you can just pass then?
Yeah, exactly. So he's done 1 fate. Okay, so he passes. So that means, 2 Retsugus. Yep. That is not what Scorpion wants to see with that early pass strategy.
Yeah, Retsugu is very strong in Scorpion since they're low military numbers. He is the only character right now that duels to actually kill people.
I will say there's one caveat, which is that against a Scorpion player who is running I Can Swim, playing Retsugu can be risky because they can intentionally bid high even in a duel that they're guaranteed to lose.
To swim yeah.
Yeah, in order to get that I Can Swim going.
However, Fordream is not playing I Can Swim, so Ozil does not have to worry about that, and so we see a Daimyo's Favor not activated,
Probably a little misplay here. It looks like he maybe forgot to use the Daimyo's Favor to get the fate discount on that Ancestral Daisha.
Yep. That is actually the big economy boost of Daimyo's Favor is it makes these ancestral weapons free.
Looks like he maybe forgot to exercise that option. So that's a little unfortunate. It does mean he's going to have a bit less fate to play with.
Yeah, he could also activate it for like a reprieve or something or another attachment.
No doubt. Additionally, 3 out of 4 of the Dragon provinces do give you fate, so he will have some to play with.
And the one that doesn't is Shameful Display. So
yeah, not exactly a bad card. So what do you think? Do you attack here with Doom Shigenja or with Retsugu?
I think I would attack with Retsugu, and the reason I say I attack with Retsugu is because if my opponent plays a covert guy, I'm like Retsugu can threaten every single province with his attachments right now, whereas Doom Shigenja needs help. So if I flip into Pilgrimage with Retsugu, my opponent either is going to defend and I get a free duel, or I'm going to break. That's my logic.
Yeah. One little thing I'll point out is that if you're worried about fate worse than death, it might be advantageous to reserve Retsugu for the defense, where you can duel the opponent before they can fate worse than death you.
That's also fair. What do you think about passing your first conflict? Is that something you would ever do?
Don't do it in this situation. You probably have 2 real conflicts.
Okay.
I think passing first conflict is sometimes good. I don't like doing it when I have a Doomed Shigenja or something like that out, because I really want to use those stats. Honestly, if Dragon passes first, I would pass first as Scorp also.
So
you have to go in.
So you want to attack with Doom Shigenja first, then, to kind of play around Fate Worse Than Death?
Maybe, I'm not sure. There are a few options. It depends on what he has in hand, and it depends. Like, for instance, if he has an assassinating Rumormonger is strong here, but there's the potential for Forged Edict. So the other thing is that this start probably signals, he used his Daimyos. Does he have a Tattooed Wanderer, for instance?
He has activated the Daimyos, so yeah. It looks like both have passed, so it looks like it's on Ozil to declare conflict.
Okay, he's going in.
And he does hit Pilgrimage with Retsugu.
Pilgrimage. That is a fate. But he does have a lot of stats here. Assuming nothing disrupts him, he may be able to break that Pilgrimage with Retsugu.
So one problem with hitting Pilgrimage is if you get Fate Worse Than Death here, you cannot drop a conflict character to get a ring.
That's a good point. The Void Ring here that's a reasonable choice. The downside to the Void Ring is that it would be somewhat unimpactful if Scorpion got it, but the upside is it would blank their guy, so that's pretty good.
It also signifies that he might not have the assassination.
Yeah,
Fordream using a very magic term. He said he's gonna go into the tank for a second. Basically, it just means he's thinking.
gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering what that one meant
Yeah,
myself.
basically it's like a think tank. Like so, when people say they're tanking or I'm gonna tank, it just means they're thinking.
Yes, let's take a look at his options. So let's assume that he has absolutely anything that he wants in his deck. What would that give him? I think that the biggest option here would be Fate Worse Than Death. I think that's kind of the obvious one.
I think Fate Worse Than Death followed up with I think you want Fate Worse Than Death, a Pathfinder's Blade, and a Skirmisher.
One other option would be the charge.
Yeah,
Charging, he could charge the Yogo Outcast, that's 3 strength. He could charge Yogo Heroi and pull the Doom
Shigenja.
Shigenja in as well to leave the dragon open to retaliatory attacks.
He does, however, give him or lead himself to giving almost assuredly a break that way.
That's true. Well, charge Outcast would give him 3 strength. The only problem is that Raitsugu can duel off the actually, yeah,
Charge doesn't do anything.
Heroi,
Yeah.
Charge Heroi is a very weak play because Raitsugu will duel him off immediately.
I mean, charge anybody is a weak play, right? Because the dragon, if the dragon wants, they can immediately duel any character that's charged in, and they can always win because Raitsugu's a 5.
Yeah, but it might. But with the Yogo Outcast, who would be at 3 strength, it would at least create a bidding scenario.
Sure. In Dragon's scenario, there you bid. I think you have to bid 4? No, yeah, you have to bid 4.
It depends on how many strength buffs you have.
I mean,
At 5 to 3, you could bid 3, and you consider the tie to be fine.
that's fair. You could. I would consider the problem is that I'm attacking Pilgrimage. And so
Yeah.
a lot of the time that would be okay to do a normal province where you'd at least get the ring.
Yep.
But because Pilgrimage is here, like if you end up not having enough strength buffs, it could be bad.
Yeah, agreed.
Real quick, we got kind of sidetracked from the flop. Here's the Fate Worse Than Death. Okay, so he did have it.
Yep.
Just real quick, Rega is streaming the Crane Mirror match if you guys do want to just watch both or give him a check also. If you want to check up on both games, his stream is I'll put it in chat.
Okay, so Fate Worse Than Death on Retsugu, that's going to be annoying. Probably it would have been possible for Retsugu to get the break there, so Fate Worse Than Death is going to be a setback, but with that much fate on him, he's by no means out of the game. So the question now is, okay, it looks like Dragon passes, and Fordream says he's going back to the tank. That's interesting. I guess he could play a Haruma Skirmisher here to win the Void Ring, but I don't think that that's particularly valuable.
No, he can't play Skirmisher. It's Pilgrimage.
No, Fordream could play the
Oh,
Skirmisher.
okay. You're saying Fordream could.
Yeah, because Ozil, Goazil, how do you pronounce this?
I think it's I think it's Ozil Goazil.
Okay, so Ozil already passed. So Fordream is thinking about whether or not to fizzle this conflict. Or maybe he's thinking about whether or not to assassinate the Doom Shigenja preemptively or something. I'm not sure.
Okay, so nothing happens. So no one wins. Now, what ring do you go for here?
I don't know. It depends on what else you have. It's conceivable that the ring to go for here is actually Void to try to get Raitsugu off the field. Those Raitsugu dupes, though, are making that an unappealing prospect, since even if you do get a successful Void, he's not even leaving yet.
Here's the question. If you don't have Pathfinder's Blade, do you risk attacking?
You might not attack. What do you think about Water here? Water would force the Doom Shigenja to defend or else be bowed.
You could do Water. I would be okay with that. If I was going to do Water, I would hope to have a Covert. I think that would make that play stronger.
Yeah.
Fighting Walloon, correct. These games do not have a time limit. The time limit rules for paper L5R do not apply.
I will say that in the past, there was an infamous game between myself and Shutrev that went for 2 hours and 45 minutes. But hopefully we're not going to have a repeat of that, because I think it would cause me to be late to a tournament that I'm going to this afternoon.
Ah, all right. We will be letting the players know that there is still slow play. Like you still have to make moves in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, but I don't think we've seen a single case where that's been
No, I don't think anyone
enforced.
has done it, but I mean, like there can be moments where we just have to like let the players know that they need to make a move. But I don't foresee that happening. I think most players play at a very fine pace. So we have Fordream hitting Feast or Famine.
Easter famine. That's a really interesting one to hit. So
The real question here is, do you assist your opponent in breaking?
so yeah. So here's the thing. If if Ozil has a strength buff, it's actually really strong to play a strength buff on the Rumor Monger here.
So
No, he defends. He
I don't
defends
know if
with-
Ozil realizes the interaction, but because he's contesting water, if he has a strength buff, he can buff the Rumor Monger, and the Feast or Famine resolves before the water ring does.
That's right.
So he
So
can
it
get the
essentially
fate.
nullifies that ring.
Yeah, he can get the fate. He can get the fate there and put it on his Shugenja and save it from the water ring.
That's right. But it looks like he's going for the defense. Maybe he doesn't want to take broken provinces this early. It is true that the deck he's playing against is a little aggressive on the province breaking. So he might be thinking, this isn't that much of a value. I'm gonna hold the line. Let's see what happens. He passes at 3-2. That's fairly reasonable, I think. Let's see.
It
how much
also
Fordream
it also
wants to
opens
fight.
you up if you give your opponent the opportunity to break. It opens you up to assassination.
That's true. Though he might have a conflict character in hand to save the day.
He could. So Fordream just passes.
Ozil- Yeah, for Dream's fine with it. So Ozil wins the conflict.
Yeah,
And-
Fordream got his intended goal anyway. His intended goal was to get the Shugenja to be bowed.
Yep. So does Ozil have a tattooed wanderer here to sneak in on political? Looks like he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Or if he does, he chooses not to play it, which is fair.
I think that's reasonable, especially with the Daimyo's favor, where you can get it cheaper as a free attachment also.
Fordream passes also. That's the first round. Okay.
Wow, okay.
So I think Dragon ended up a little bit up after this round.
I agree.
One of the fates worse than death was played, but it didn't have a gigantic impact in terms of the overall board.
Yep, both.
It wasn't like a huge blowout. It did stop the conflict, and it did take off an honor, but it wasn't devastating.
Both players scouted a Seeker province, so both players got an extra fate that turn.
Yep, both players saw a province that can be pretty important at the right time, and it didn't have its big effect. So that's that's kind of a win for both.
So
and then
Fordream sees
however-
a dupe Hiroi, and we have Yokuni coming out for Ozil.
Ozil did take the Imperial favor, but as we can see, he did not draw Agasha Sumiko to make that really impactful.
He did take mill favor also instead of political favor. What are your thoughts on that?
That's an interesting choice. I would definitely default to political favor against Scorpion, but we'll see how this choice pans out for him. Okay, he plays the Tagashi Mendicant. Mendicant can be a very annoying card in the right circumstance, or in the wrong circumstance rather, which is that if you have multiple of them, their ability doesn't do anything. But his ability can be really good, especially if you have an unused holding, an unused character that's okay but not great. You can look at your top cards before deciding whether or not to discard that character at the end of the turn. And so basically he lets you search your top 3 for the card that you most want to be in the province and set that up if necessary. Oh, wow. This is really bold. A Niten adept with 2 fate. Now, I will say that the Scorpion deck here, I believe, only has 1 copy of Assassination, but if he has that copy and he plays it on the Niten adept, that's a huge swing. That is, in fact, a gigantic swing, and he has seen 13 cards. So, if we fire up the old hypergeometric calculator, let's see what the odds are that we've seen an Assassination. Oh, and there's the reprieve on the Newton adept, which makes this calculation maybe a little less relevant.
Sorry about that. I was just talking to somebody. So, yeah. So the reprieve on Newton Adept is a pretty common play because it gives you an attachment to Baloth and it protects you from assassination.
Yep. Now, of course, the reprieve could get stolen, which would be a big reversal,
I agree.
and then enable the assassinations. That could well happen.
And it would
I'm
save
just
the
doing a
rumor
quick
monger.
calculation here. He's seen 14 cards.
Oh, you're doing the chance to see a calling in favors?
Chance to see the assassination, rather.
Oh, sure. The one of.
Looks like we're at a 35% chance of seeing an assassination here.
What is it, 14? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's seen 14 cards. 14 conflict cards. Okay, so we see, and he used his stronghold. Both people are bidding 5. We're seeing fairly standard play here. It's quite likely that the Scorpion player has a Pathfinder's Blade at this phase. That one, having seen this number of cards, we have a 73.68% chance, even assuming no mulligan.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the dragon player has let go, and then to see if it gets edicted.
Yeah, X wisely points out that you don't need to use the hypergeometric calculation because he only has one copy. It's 14 out of 40.
Oh, yeah.
But still provides some useful information with respect to the Pathfinder Blade. Okay, he didn't use his Daimyo's trigger last turn. That was kind of objectively a mistake. He puts another Ancestral Daisho on there. Right, Sugu is looking like a killer, man. You gotta watch out.
He does use it this time, though, so he saves his fate.
Yeah. So he now has a... Sugu is up to...
6.
Yeah, 6 strength, despite being dishonored. So he can duel either Scorpion character and not have to worry about dying at all, and only have to bid 2 to guarantee the kill on the young rumor monger.
Having the favorable grounds is also really important, because if say he doesn't want to duel the hero and he wants to win, he can just have no defense on the rumor monger and the favorable grounds and kill it.
Yep. So we also have to ask ourselves, why didn't he play Yokuni? So if he were running the deck that I'm using, the probable answer would be he has charge. But we know he's not running charge. So it could be that he just prefers to play these smaller guys, or it could be that he's trying to bait the Scorpion into attacking that province because it's restoration, or something similar to that.
It could be resto or shameful.
Yep.
I think those. I think that would be a reason. Also, he could just also not want to get Fate Worse than Death.
That's true. As Scorp, also, I'm really not happy with this situation. Right, this board is... Dragon has the favorable ground to evade Heroi if necessary, and he has 2 characters that have abilities that are going to be really strong defensively. It's conceivable to me that Scorpion will immediately pass first conflict, and if he does that, as Dragon, I also pass my first conflict and make him come to me or commit to no conflicts.
Yeah, exactly. Make the onus on the Scorpion.
Yep.
I think going for Feast or Famine is so risky, Nix. Like, if he goes into Feast or Famine with and loses, like, that's just two fate that goes on to the Mendicant then.
Yeah, I don't think he can go to Feast or Famine, because here's the thing. So maybe he goes there and he's like, oh, I have an assassinate for this Mendicant. But then what happens if Dragon plays Kazue, for instance? Or even just one of the 1 costs. It's so risky. I mean, and then to make matters even worse, even if Dragon doesn't have that stuff, he can then favorable grounds one of his guys in. Oh, he's going for it. He's making an attack. The young rumor monger.
Going into Blank Province. And he doesn't hit Restoration. That's so risky. He's risking 8 cards. Oh man.
So we might actually see here. This is the counter. He's actually risking 9 cards.
Oh yeah. Wow, he has a third. Yeah. So we're gonna see Shameful.
This is maybe the counter mind games. So it's possible that Ozil left the Yokuni there on purpose to try to get his opponent to attack there.
Because it's restoration.
And it's also possible that Fordream realized this and didn't go there on purpose to avoid getting hit by the trick. So you gotta, this is all mind games, of course, and there's an argument for doing it or not doing it. It's like, what level is this guy playing on? But yeah.
In paper, in paper or L5R, do you just randomly put your provinces down, or do you actually purposely put them in a certain spot?
I basically randomize them. I think there's some argument for, observing all your games and noticing where people attack first, but it's so influenced by like what face-up cards exist and stuff like that I'm not sure it's something that you can easily measure.
Yeah, that's fair. I also do random. I also think that if you do a set strategy every time, it can be discerned and it can cause a
Oh
disadvantage.
yeah, you should not put your provinces in the same place every time, I don't think, unless it's like some kind of memorization tool. And I'm pretty sure you can look at your own face down provinces whenever, so I don't think you need a memorization tool.
So we see shameful being activated.
Okay, first action shameful. If I'm Ozil here, I don't duel this rumor
Yep,
monger.
I agree.
Even though it's a free kill, there's no reason to do it. Save the duel for favorable ground, duel Heroi, or water ring, and then you're up, and then you can duel Heroi.
Also, you could save it for a potential conflict character.
That's true.
That's another
Yeah,
reason
right.
to not duel first. Is if you duel first, your opponent can then play a conflict character.
Yeah, the dream scenario for Ozil here is that he does a political attack, or there's a political conflict at some point, and Fordream plays a one fate Kachiko, spending all his money to do it.
Oh, and you just move in with Raitsugu
And
and
then Sugu comes in, knocks that fate off of Kachiko. She would have to have used her ability already, of course. And then it ends up with Fordream having spent a lot of fate on a Kachiko that doesn't stay in play. Yeah, Basley Bub says, when looking at your own face down provinces, make sure that you don't look at the face down card in the province. Absolutely
Yep.
right. Yep, that is cheating. You'll get DQ'd or warned or something. I actually don't know. They don't have, like strict.
I don't know how it. So in Magic cheating is a very odd word. Basically, cheating is basically doing something for an advantage knowingly. So it has to be with intent. So,
Yeah, but
so
you'll
like
get an
you, so like
infraction.
yeah, you'll get a warning for sure. Like it's a game rules violation for sure. Next, I agree that Fortune is tanking a bit, but I mean, I don't think it's anything that an admin needs to be informed about. I think it's the pace of play is still reasonable. So Ozil does duel, which is I think incorrect.
Oh, that's a waste. Don't do that. Save it for your. You even have. Oh,
This
that's
is
why.
no.
Haha.
I wouldn't do this. I absolutely wouldn't do this because now what happens
This
is
is
he
this
plays.
is dumb. This is high risk.
Yeah, he just plays Yojimbo here. He just plays Yojimbo here and breaks.
Yeah.
Well, he could have a
unless-
Fury. He could have a Fury.
Yeah, there could be that Fury. If he has two Furies, I think this is actually a like super troll beat play.
Like if he plays Yojimbo with 2 in here and then you Fury.
No, but if it were me, I would not duel.
And I would
just
not favor
stand there,
Logos. Yeah.
pass it, and try to get a water ring to stand Retsugu back up, maybe. All right, what's happening?
So we see a charge on Actress. So
that is a very strong play for Fordream. Charge on Shisoro Actress. Now he's winning the conflict, and he can Actress the Doom Shigenja later on. Or he could Actress the Doom Shigenja right now.
Yeah.
Go into breaking mode. Yeah, I think that was a bit of an overconfident play from Ozil.
I think Ozil just kind of jumped the gun, especially looking at Decklists when you see your opponent has 3 Yojimbos. Like it's just very risky.
Oh, okay. So he's countering with a Tattooed Wanderer. Is what ring is this? This is a Void ring. This is actually quite an important ring.
Yeah.
Well, he might have a reprieve for Retsugu.
He might, but then also that leaves you.
Oh, but he
open.
played a reprieve on Niten Adept.
It also leaves you open to calling in
Bonsai.
favors.
This is suddenly a contested fight. I think I think Dragon player's move in this case was overconfident. I would not have pulled out Retsugu. I would have just accepted the win without the duel and moved on.
Yep. If he has a Fury at the end of all this, it could work out still.
Yeah, though Actress is another courtier, so he does have another option for fortune.
That is true.
So we'll see what happens next. Ozil actually passes.
Wow.
So, oh man, that wasn't a favorable interaction for the Dragon player. That was and now with that Shisoro Actress out, there's still the option to pull out a Doom Shigenja and get a bunch of stats. Though I will say with Retsugu standing, the Dragon military attack will likely be very powerful.
Also, Dragon no longer has access to favorable ground, so he cannot counter the Hero Harpoon effect.
That's actually another good point. You know, I think, yeah, I don't think that was necessarily the most efficient use of resources for the Dragon player.
What ring do you go for here if you're the Dragon player?
not water.
Yeah, it's fire or earth, right? Like I'm just trying to figure out which one is
Yeah,
better.
I don't think air is very live at this point. I would do fire, dishonor, heroic is pretty strong here, I think, because that will also prevent him from being used for forged.
So we
Oh,
see a
Pathfinder's
Pathfinder's Blade.
10 adept.
This is so aggressive. So you can just get blown out here by calling in favors into assassination.
Yeah, could. He'll probably attack with more than one guy. I don't know. Maybe he won't.
So
If it were me, I would probably send Raitsugu straight for that pilgrimage.
absolutely.
Just don't maybe don't even send anybody else in. Just be Raitsugu solo.
Yeah, I would do this in against this deck because he's not playing Dragon Splash against the traditional Dragon Splash Scorpion. That's very risky because you can get hit by Fury.
Yeah. Knowing your opponent doesn't have Fury allows you to be a lot more cavalier with solo characters.
Nyx is commenting that Ozil does only have 2 bonsai because he cut one for the Daimyo's favors.
Interesting point.
We're seeing kind of one of the negatives of Daimyo's favor where it's card negative, right? Because it's just an attachment that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, this is a political conflict.
It's shameful, but he has the Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah, he does have the blade.
We could also see calling in favors on Pathfinder's Blade, giving the Scorpion player another Pathfinder's Blade, and then also turning Shameful Display on.
Good point. Yeah, so one of the reasons that I no longer play the Daimyo's Favor myself is because it's unimpactful, which is to say it's a card that you spend the card and it provides an economic advantage that's often a bit vague and doesn't necessarily cash out immediately. So you kind of find yourself sometimes at a card disadvantage.
First action is
I like
fan.
having cards that just give me numbers.
So we see defense, first action fan, so that the Neat and Adept cannot bow Hero.
Yep, that's a good.
Do you let go here if you have one?
It would maybe be worth it to let go here. You kind of want to save it for the Pathfinder's Blade, but in this situation, making him play more attachments would be good. In a normal situation, this would actually be quite risky because these one-strength political characters going into a policy debate are not necessarily going into a potential policy debate are not necessarily what you want. Let's see.
No, he's running exactly Kalimsha's list, so he does not have any policy debates.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying normally it would be risky, but in this situation, you can actually do it pretty freely. So here's a question: does Hiroi pull in Raitsugu?
Because he thinks he's gonna win.
Yeah, or because he doesn't care that much if and like win but not break.
Oh
is
no,
fine.
right. Tsuga has used his duel already, so it's safe.
No, I know, but I mean, do you do it?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah, the one problem is it does seem like right now Scorp might outright win. Yeah, Scorp will outright win, and if he pulls in Raitsugu, Dragon can just stronghold up to strength. Yeah, so he does it. Dragon can now stronghold up to strength 6.
Yeah, this is also assuming that the Scorpion doesn't have any other plays, right? Because only Ozil has passed.
Oh yeah, but it does make it so that like instead of being in a situation where default you're winning, you're now in a situation where default you're losing, barring other plays.
That's fair. This is another spot where political favor would have been nice, because if we see then he would only have to get up 1.
Yeah. Yeah, like a court games to dishonor, for instance, would put him in a losing position.
Yep.
Whereas with we got a force shame. That's a one strength swing. So we are seeing a situation here where that political favor would make it so that he was winning the conflict right now. Let's see if he's going to keep fighting it.
Nyx is also commenting that actress for Doom Shigenja is still alive.
This is a bit of a misplay, incidentally. The for shame here. He should not for shame Raitsugu. He should for shame one of the other characters because Raitsugu will be dishonored by Hiroi's ability if the Scorpion player wins this conflict.
He also could have waved the Scorpion, the Neat and Adept, and then for shamed it.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably should lead with Way of the Scorpion on one of the other characters.
Like though it's possible that he wanted to do for shame to see whether or not Dragon would just bow, but if so, he kind of mind gamed himself on that one because there's no reason to bow. Given the
and so we see a second.
Oh, so he does have another first shame. Okay. Are we going to see another attack from Dragon? This is a fair amount of cards being played by Scorpion, which actually I don't like.
If I've Kitsuki's method, I would be okay playing it here.
Kitsuki's method on Mendicant, yeah, that would be strong.
I think that would be fine.
He does have 2 copies of Kitsuki's method in the deck. We'll see if they see play. This turn has been totally fine for. Oh, you know what? I just also realized the Shisora actress into Swordsman into Doom Shigenja isn't actually live because Newton Adept will just bow it.
Oh, yep, that's true. That is true.
So I think in this situation, if I do have another 2 strength buff, I use it.
He can also actress into Raitsugu.
No, he can't. They changed the ruling on that.
I thought that was if it was your own character.
No, the unique rule it does include ownership. So if you can't bring in another copy of it, it's complicated, but you can't do it.
Oh, okay. All right.
You used to be able to. There was some email ruling I think that used to say that you could do it, but you can't now do it.
So we see a court games, and then we see an edict dishonoring the actress.
Wow, that's a strange play from both players. Honestly, I don't know.
No, he was going to court games to dishonor the hero.
To win the conflict. Of course, I'm an idiot. Yeah, so the court games there would have put Dragon back to winning.
Now we see a let go. I don't know why Dragon didn't just lead with let go.
Maybe he was saving it for the Pathfinder's Blade and thought he would win this conflict normally.
That's fair.
So now, if Scorp has any attachment, he has to play it, or else he'll get bowed and actually take a break here, maybe? Oh, no, you know what? If Newton Adept uses his ability, then the Doom Shigenja becomes a live move.
Correct. However, Scorpion only has a political attack left, so their drop bearer characters, other than Kachiko, are not as good.
It's actually pretty likely that we will see a Whoa.
Wait, should I ask them to hold? Wait, ask them to hold real quick.
Yeah.
I wonder if Kratos is around.
Let me confirm.
Yeah. Let me also. I'm gonna grab an admin. I think Kratos might be around.
I'm going to confirm it with the Card Game DB database.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, Card Game DB is a site that's owned by Fantasy Flight. They have like articles. They have a deck builder, though it's not necessarily my favorite deck builder. But also have a rules question board that like logs the official answers to things, which is quite useful. Okay, so let's see if we can find. I promise they have a bad search function, so.
Nix is also saying that this is illegal, as are a couple other players. We're just double checking, guys. We want to make sure that the game has all of its integrity.
Yeah, I want to link to the official ruling on this, if at all possible. Blah blah blah. Yeah, Sora actress plus uniques. Yeah.
Yeah. Hitting you with the resident sleeper.
Yeah, this needs to be fixed on Jigoku. Incidentally, it shouldn't even give you the option to make illegal plays.
Yeah, I will also ping the Jigoku team on the server.
Oh yeah, and according to this ruling, it was actually this was actually made explicit in the rules reference guide update.
Oh, in the update, yes, that's true.
Yeah, a player cannot bring into play a unique card owned by his or her opponent if that opponent controls an in-play copy of that card. Yeah, so this is not a legal play.
Okay, so we need to just have the manual move the Raitsugu out, and then we need to move the Shugenja in and give control to Fordream.
Yeah, that's right.
And then also, this is not an aspect of like where your opponent made a mistake. It's just an illegal move. So.
Yeah, it's this is a situation where if you use you're actually it's mandatory to use the Doom Shigenja in this situation.
Hopefully, these two players can manual it properly.
All right, so the players are now fixing this situation. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate because I do believe there was originally a ruling that said you could do this.
Uh, it could be worse was suggesting to just put the actress back in play and then just have her use her ability again. Yeah, this works too. You can just use the actress now. Just use the actress action. So you just have, Ozil pass and then activate actress on here. Hopefully this works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good to go. So it could be worse. He actually is forced to use it when you sacrifice as part of the cost. So you're initiating it, and so there's only one target, so you must choose it.
Yeah, it is.
Sacrifice is part of the cost. Sacrifice is part of the cost. So he chooses to activate the actress. He then finds out he cannot pick the target that he wanted. He still has chosen to activate it. Realistically at a tournament, if you wanted to do that, you would have to you basically ask for the ruling beforehand and then do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing what I normally do and applying magic tournament structure. So we see is that the third for shame? It is indeed the third for shame to Bao Tsugu.
Yeah, so the Scorpion player went really hard on that conflict.
So they won the conflict, and then here's the Yojimbo with 2 fate.
Yeah, so maybe Yojimbo's going to come and break that shameful display.
Barring a Fury.
Yeah. Or a conflict character.
Yep. This is another spot where that favorable ground would have been very useful because you could favorable ground.
Yeah, I do think Dragon didn't play this turn very effectively. I think it was kind of an overconfident move with that right Sugu, and Scorpion had the tools to punish it, but we'll see what happens next.
It could be worse. Say you cast Doomblade on a black creature, that's just an illegal play. It has nothing to do with costs. Let me see. Say you sacrificed Arcbound Ravager to itself for modular target, and you just didn't have any actual creatures, and your opponent had one. You would be forced to target their creature, and then choose whether or not to do so. Like, you don't get to rewind and not sacrifice your creature. Wow, so he chooses to scout. I think he wanted to hit Restoration with 4 cards in hand.
Okay, so now it does seem that maybe that Yokuni was a restoration bait.
Yeah. We do see a conflict character out of...
Wait, why... Is this a mistake?
No, it's Earthring. Oh. It's Earthring, so he doesn't want to discard it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he'll get the fate he got the fate from Manicured Gardens, that's free. So now he'll get a military attack.
Fordream did not have a mill buff. Mill favor coming in handy here. If Fordream has mill favor there, he breaks.
Oh, wow. This is very odd. So Ozil just discarded a Tattooed Wanderer. It's very strange to play the Skirmisher instead of the Wanderer in this situation, because the Wanderer plus the military favor is enough to get a break on your own.
Yeah, for sure. You could have Wandered with 1 fate, too, because you're going to get the fate from Manicured, and you would have had a character left over.
Yeah, I think that Haruma Skirmisher was a misplay here. I think that getting the card doesn't do anything because Fordream doesn't have a board. So getting the extra stat and getting the break without spending another card would be more valuable in my view.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, so this could be a free break right now. We'll see. Yep, and that was Fordream passing. Sorry, I thought it was Ozil passing. Does he have another card that he can spend here? And it's a bit of a mistake.
He has the 3rd Tattooed Wanderer. Yeah,
What the? Okay.
I
I
mean,
guess if he was gonna play that anyway, it's fine.
yeah,
I don't know why he played the Haruma at all.
yeah, he should have just played the one Wanderer.
Yeah. Boy, that's crazy. Okay. So that was kind of an inefficient use of
It,
cards.
it could have been one of those moments where he clicked on it and then realized after he played it, crap, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. So that was he does get the break. So I think at the end of this turn,
I
I
think
think
I think Dragon's ahead actually.
so. I think Dragon is slightly ahead, but I think that he could be very ahead if he had managed that a little better.
I think he would have been very ahead because he would have had more fate. Because especially so if you go into this turn and you're gonna get your Daishos back. So you're gonna get double Daisho back, and then you also can Yokuni and copy Hiroe and hook the Yojimbo, and deny the covert. Because you're gonna
Yeah, that's a pretty nice play.
Because you're gonna get first player.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice play. So I think the Dragon is a bit ahead, but I think that I think there was a bit of a misplay. I think there were a few misplays on the Dragon player's part. I think he spent a fate and a card needlessly with that Haruma skirmisher, and I think he could have played Retsugu better. But he still ends up in a pretty good spot. So we'll see what happens next. It's one break. Yep, there's Yokuni.
Yeah, see, so if he had that extra fate, he can Yokuni with 3 here, which I think is a stronger play. It's stronger against a fate worse than death.
That's so. Let's see. The water ring is going to
Fordream
be
just passes immediately. Fordream is like, nope, you're not getting any fate from me.
Yeah, like this is the drop bear thing. I think it's overdone. I do think I don't know if he's playing Kachiko this turn, it's fine.
I can see that.
Like,
yeah.
his board isn't that bad. Whoa, both players doing somewhat low bids with Ozil on 4 and Fordream on 3. The next time we do one of these games, we should ask these guys how to pronounce their usernames because this is embarrassing. I think I've said Ozil. I think I've said Ozil.
So we see Pathfinder's Blade on Yokuni.
Yep. Good play there.
Fordream uses his stronghold to steal an honor.
So Pathfinder's Blade on Yokuni probably means that he's going to be swinging for one of the face-down provinces.
The face-down provinces are he's not running meditation, so that's one he does not have to worry about running into. It's public forum.
So it's either going for the quick break on public forum or blocking that secret cache, both of which are strong.
Of note, one thing to note here, which is a mistake for sure, is Fordream did not use Shameful Display to force the Pathfinder's Blade activation.
Oh wow!
So Neat and Adept still has a
significant mistake. There is no reason not to make them use that. I think, unless maybe he was considering stealing it and then decided not to, but even then, you should use it afterwards. Ozil's entering the tank now. This game has been a little more deliberative than some of the games that we've cast earlier, a little slower paced maybe.
Which is reasonable. I mean, I don't think that players should be forced to play quickly if they're not comfortable. I would rather a player take slightly more time and make a stronger play.
No doubt.
Just while they're tanking, we can talk about the game a little bit. So one thing to note, so Kitsuki Yoruma is actually pretty medium of a card just to cast. Its real strength comes in the ability to be charged, and because Ozil is not playing any charges, it loses a lot of value. It will let him recharge his Fury for 1, and if a Resto gets flipped, he can turn it face down again. So, also to note, it is Ozil's priority. He has not used Yokuni's activation yet. I like copying Hiroe and then doing a military attack and hooking the Yojimbo. What do you think about that?
I think. Wait, did a military? Did you say?
Well, yeah, you don't want to do political because Kachiko can come in.
Yeah. That's fair. I think or military and hook Hiroi.
Yeah, sure.
But then he can bring in your Niten Adept, but the Niten Adept is going to get coverted by the Yojimbo anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think military and bring in Yojimbo and just try to overwhelm them.
You could.
Because he's on strength 6. He can get up to 8 with one of the wanderers, or 10 if he sends in both of them.
Well, you can mill with Yokuni and the adept on pilgrimage, and then you can add up the Yojimbo after you hook it, and that way.
I think his Pathfinder's Blade signals that he's looking for a new province instead of going for pilgrimage.
That's fair.
But yeah, and it looks like he's going for that Heroi.
He's going for the dupe.
Oh wow! I didn't actually realize that he had a Heroi dupe and didn't use it. That's what I'm saying.
So he just first action passed. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know that he had the option to use that. I don't like that pass. It's too early. Secret cache. Okay, so I would block this in this situation. Let's see if that's the choice the dragon player takes.
It could be worse. It's like it's very strange, the rulings. It's like playing, if your opponent has Leyline of Sanctity in play and you cast Thoughtseize, if you don't announce a target, you are forced to Thoughtseize yourself.
Yeah, Nix makes a good point in the chat also that you can infer that Scorp didn't have Calling in Favors because he would use it on Reprieve to put it on the Doomed Shigenja that he had stolen. That's
sure.
True. That would have been very impactful. Okay, oh man. Heroi coming to defend. So I think... Oh, Fate Worse Than Death on Yokuni.
So the second one does come out. Yokuni didn't use his ability, did he?
No, didn't use the ability. So that's kind of wasted, but in this case he would be sent out of the conflict anyway, so he'll be unable to use it.
So we see one of the daishos that we know he has come in.
No, it's not a daisho, it's a fine katana. He still has those daishos.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Now here's an interesting question. Do you try to get low on cards to scout the Restoration of Balance in order to mitigate the effects of Miyamoto's Fury? Or do you just say, I'm not going to it, I'm going to just hit the other provinces?
Well, it doesn't matter. So Miyamoto's Fury right now can't hit Kachiko, and it cannot hit, it will always hit the Yojimbo.
But it will hit, so if he scouts it,
Heroi's in the conflict right now, it's going to get bowed. Like, what does scouting do for you right now?
Oh, it's not good right now. I'm just meaning, like, do you want to do that as part of your eventual plan?
Maybe this Yuruma in play kind of makes me not want to do that.
Yuruma makes that pretty risky, actually.
It's not really risky. It's just not optimal, right? Like, I mean, if you so a lot of players when they play their cards out of hand to get player on resto, it is not optimal because it's less hidden information.
Yeah.
So you have to play suboptimally in terms of like your sequencing your cards.
Yaruma on Shameful might be a pretty good play for Dragon next turn to charge up that Miyamoto's, get him
and
to
just force them to attack Shameful or yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go to Shameful, and he doesn't want to go into Restoration either. So that creates an awkward situation.
Scorpion has not seen its own Pathfinder's Blade yet, which is something to note. So it looks like the players are tanking here. Whose action is it? It looks like it's action on Fordream. Fordream does play Calling in Favors to take the Reprieve.
Okay. Is he gonna assassinate that Nitan adept now?
That would make the most sense.
Looks like Ozil does not have another Reprieve. If he did, I would immediately play it on Nitan adept.
Yep,
but he
and
doesn't.
There's the
assassination. Nitan adept is out. Secret cache. Okay, so he's still passing, and Ozil has used all of his conflict characters except for one. No, he has a Kazue in there. He has a Kazue in there. So he has one Kazue and one Wayfinder left as conflict
one Skirmisher.
Yeah, Skirmisher. My mistake, not Wayfinder. I'm thinking about the old days. He does get that Earth Ring, though, and he does void Heroi. It might have been better to void Jimbo here. I'm not sure.
It has Reprieve on it, though? Is that...
Oh, yeah, it has Reprieve. Never mind, just kidding.
And he broke to get the dupe Heroi out? So, like, this is going... Not to keep harping on it, but, like, last turn, if he had that one extra Fate, this Yokuni would have 2 Fate on it still. And a lot of Yokuni's strength is being able to use his ability.
On the other hand, I'll say this. If Scorpion had not passed immediately, his Heroi wouldn't be going away this turn.
That's true.
All right, military.
The Heroi's not going to go away, though. He has back alley hideaway.
So, why... Oh, and he'll replay it? I don't know.
You don't think it would be worth it? Or I mean, you don't think it would be worth hiding
He'll have to pay the 4 for it again, I mean.
That's fair.
Okay, so here he's going for Shameful. Oh, it looks like we don't have Muramoto's. That's a serious problem for the
Wow,
Dragon player. He's going to lose Shameful without
very
being able to
surprising
use
that
it.
he doesn't have one after seeing over half of his deck.
No, he hasn't seen over half. He's seen a little bit
Or
less.
sorry. I was gonna say seen half, but it's slightly under half.
Yeah. Yeah, even still, maybe he's saving it for a time when he can't be forged. That's possible, but it's difficult to do with the large courtier count in Scorpion decks these days.
And now we see the Kachiko.
Kachiko. I do think the Water Ring was maybe a little dubious here, given that he had Kachiko anyway. But
he wanted the Fate. So he had to spend a Fate for calling in favors. So he only had 5 Fates. So this lets him play Kachiko with 1, and then he'll be first player with Kachiko.
And then I don't think he used Heroi's ability, so he can use it to pull in one of the Tattooed Wanderers and dishonor it, which is a pretty strong play.
I think you go for Resto here. I absolutely think you attack Restoration here.
Yeah, I would attack Resto. Or it does give him 1, but attacking Manicure also gives him 1, and
you don't want to attack
Resto makes him flip. Now, yeah, and you'll break it, so there isn't really the Yoruma risk. I think that's a quite reasonable play.
Yeah, there you go. He's going for Resto
there he goes, coming for Resto.
Yep.
Now, Seeker of Fire does mean this isn't as bad as it could be, but it's still not quite what the Dragon player wants. Looks like we're going for the Fire Ring. Honor Kachiko. Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Click Force Snare, he could not pull the Yojimbo in because he got Fate worse than death. Which blanks the character and moves him out.
Yep. Okay, there's the brick. It looks like Fordream forgot to use Heroi in this situation.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? Actually, it doesn't matter because it would make it... I was commenting on this earlier. It's pointless to do it if the characters aren't going to stay around for longer because it loses them an honor for personal honor, but it prevents them from losing an honor for unopposed, so that's net nothing.
Oh, sure.
It's only good if they have a character that has Fate because then they lose honor in the future anyway, and then also they lose some stats. Okay, so... taking a look at this situation, I think Scorpion's maybe a little up right now.
I actually think Scorpion's very up right now. I would say very up because they're going to be first player with an honored Kachiko, which can basically threaten to break any province. She's safe from Miramoto's Fury.
Yep, can't be Miramoto's.
And he gets to go first with this with a covert also.
That's true. Dragon has to worry right now. I think their use of Red Sugu was very inefficient, so they kind of squandered the strong start.
I think if Dragon was first player here, they would be in a much better position. That
said, Dragon did get a break, so
Dragon has a pretty good flop here. He does have 2 Daishos in his hand, so this Neaton Master can do work, and he has Doom Shigenja.
And both Fate Worse Than Death have been expended, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
He could also go for Neaton Adept, knowing that his opponent doesn't have Assassination anymore.
Yokuni can also in this he could play a Neaton Adept, copy and do a copy with Yokuni.
Real quick, did he hide Hiroi?
He did. Hiroi isn't hiding, which is okay, I guess. It does mean that if Scorpion wants to just pass immediately, he can play Heroi during the draw phase or whatever.
It gives him another instant speed courtier or 2, whereas he doesn't have to dishonor his Kachiko then to Edict.
I might get the Manipulator out though. Manipulator is a pretty nice card in the current
environment.
Like
Manipulator with 1 because you know the Dragon's not going to pass because you're first player, so you can Manipulator with 1 and then pass. Players are tanking here. He could also just go ham and play Shoju. But, I mean, his playstyle has not, fighting Woolun. I think the Scorpion player is in a better position, but I don't think the game is over yet.
Yeah, no, I think it's still a very...
Another thing he can do is, because he could play any character this turn with no Fate, and then he can attack Feast or Famine. So, because none of your characters have Fate, and then you don't give your opponent a Fate. But see, playing the Rumormonger here lets Yokuni pick up a Fate if he attacks Feast or Famine. So if you just play like Manipulator or Rumor Monger with no fate and then attack Feast or Famine, you deny a fate from the dragon player because it's already been flipped, and you neuter the province. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Rumor Monger's coming out. It's a fit on there.
What time is your tournament, Davis?
Oh, it's at like 12:30. The only difficulty is it's not very close to my position, so I'm gonna have to.
Oh,
It'll
so
take
you
me
have
like
to
an
leave
hour to
early
get
to
up there.
travel. Okay. I got a crab. Actually, I might get Vince to help me cast this. I got another match coming up.
Yeah, I might want to cast that too. Also, it depends. I still have like at least an hour and a half.
No, this one is in 3.5 hours. It's at 1:15 PST.
Oh yeah, that'll be during the tournament.
Yeah, I have another match also today. Crane versus Dragon, which will be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I think you still might be at your tournament.
It depends. It's like a small local tournament, so it could well be over by then.
Okay,
But
so
we'll have to see.
yeah, if you're back for that, we can cast another Dragon match.
Yeah, dude.
So
Respect.
bids here, we got Ozil bidding 2, Fordream bidding 3.
Let's talk briefly about what was played here. I'm quite surprised. Niten Adept no fate, and not Doomed Shigenja did not see the field.
I think if you're gonna play Neaten Adept, you run it out with Fate, and then you also play the Doom Shigenja then, and not the Master.
We also did see the Niten Master with 2 fate. I might have gone for 1 on him. I'm not so sure.
So we know that Ozil has double weapon in his hand,
Yeah, it's true.
and Yokuni has an ability to copy.
At least double weapon. He might have more.
You could foreseeably copy like so. Neaten Adept can threaten bows here. So we see a fan. I don't like this line because I would rather have Fate. I like, so if you're gonna do this line, I would rather play Neaten Master with 1 and Neaten Adept with 1.
Yeah, I think I agree with that assessment, especially because Fate Worse Than Death is off the field.
And also, like, investing attachments into your Neaten Adept and then having it die is poor long term. And I think this Dragon player needs to make long term plays to like gain an advantage in the game.
On the other hand, it's entirely conceivable that he's concluded, this game is going to end in 1 or 2 turns.
Well, I don't think it'll end it. So the Scorpion player would have to, I don't think the game can actually end this turn. The Scorpion player would have to break Mill twice because it's Rally to the Cause underneath.
Oh, good. Well, I don't think Scorp can break twice this turn. I think it's conceivable Dragon can, depending on what happens.
And then one thing to note is the Scorpion player could have Pathfinder's Blade for the Rally, so that is something to keep to check.
Yeah, also a good point. There are a lot of factors to consider here.
So we see a Skirmisher. Okay, so I think he's gonna go for a mill break here.
Yeah, that seems likely. So he can do like a double covert on both Yokuni and Niten Adept, maybe, or covert Master.
No, you covert the Master and the Adept because Yokuni's only 2 stats right now.
Yokuni can copy Niten Adept and bash someone out.
He'd have to play another 0 cost attachment though, or he'd be out of Fate.
Yeah, but he can get a fate from a ring.
That's true. If it could also cost him a weapon though, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends also on whether or not he has any 0 cost weapons just hanging out in hand.
Let's just take a quick look at his graveyard and see how many zeros he's played. Looks like
he's played 2 Pathfinder's Blade and a Katana, so he has
and a fan.
Yeah, so he also still has 2 Daimyo's favors, though you don't really want to use those for any 10
that's true.
action.
Yeah, so he's got 2
He has quite a few zero-cost
2, 3, 4,
attachments
5.
left.
He's got 5. 2 daimyos, 1 Pathfinder's Blades, 2 katanas, because he only has playing 2 fans.
Yeah. Wait, that's 6.
Is it?
2 daimyos, 2 katanas, 1 fan, 1 pathfinders. Oh no, he played the other fan as on field. My
Yeah,
mistake.
exactly,
you're right.
exactly. So yeah, it's 1 Pathfinder's, 2 katana, 2 daimyo, so that's 5. 2, 2, 1. Some very deliberate play here. It is Fordream's action, and so because he placed the fate on this rumor monger, I don't think he's going to attack Feast or Famine. I think you just bite the bullet and give your opponent a fate by attacking Manicure Garden. Walloon, you can have the let go, but I mean, Scorpion's only played 1 Forged Edict, so there's always that. And with the Rumor Monger, he can move the Dishonor token to the Skirmisher. Also, Scorpion player has rally the cause under their stronghold, so that's something to keep note of. Yeah, for sure. Well, and I'm not shooting it down. I'm just giving I guess counter points to your lines. I guess playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I think Dragon still has 2 let goes.
Yep.
Have we seen the forged? We've seen one forged.
Yeah, it's one edict on a court games.
Yeah, on the court games
1.
and that weird political conflict on turn 2, I think.
Yeah. So okay, so finally an attack comes through. We see double covert on the master and the adept going at manicured.
Okay, and it looks like it's just those guys that's coming in on military strength 5 with the favor. Are we gonna see a defense with Yokuni?
Well, it's water, so he's got
to defend with Yokuni.
He actually doesn't have to. If he doesn't defend with Yokuni, it forces him to his Neaten Adept will get bowed. The reason he would bow Neaten Adept is because you can just copy Neaten Master's ability.
No, that's true. So he has to actually win with Yokuni now, or else the Neaten Adept will get bowed without doing anything. This is another reason that it would have been better to put a fate on Neaten Adept, incidentally.
Yep. Because if Yokuni gets bowed, you can always copy the Master's ability and stand them both.
Yeah, that's actually quite a good point. So I do think the Neaten Adept might end up getting bowed out without doing anything, which is a little embarrassing.
That is one, and he already committed a fan to it.
I will say, if Dragon has drawn Miyamoto's, now's the time to use it. You can Miyamoto's that
Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
so
is what,
he wins.
In the post game interview. This is exactly what Kalimsha was saying, that Miyamoto's is always good against the Yojimbo.
Yep.
So this is one of the really cool things about playing Dragon, is that your champion has so much play to it.
Yeah, lots of versatility. For Dream passes, okay, so yeah, Ozil. Oh wow, for Dream passes without breaking. So that means that for Dream will definitely not get the win this turn.
No, Nick's one Forged Edict has been played.
Yeah, we were discussing that briefly earlier. He played a Forged Edict against the
on a court games, and it's a very strange conflict.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely I mean, if I'm the Dragon player here, I'm putting my opponent on having at least one in hand. I mean,
They're
they might not have it, but if I can afford to play around it, I will.
You
If I
gotta
can,
assume they have it.
yeah.
That's my philosophy.
Well, the thing is, this is a very common thing. So like people sometimes just like are too afraid and they play around things like too much. Whereas in certain situations, it's just like you have to make your opponent show it to you still. Like you can't just play around the idea of them having it all the time. You just have to be like, all right, if you have it, show it to me. But I mean, if you can afford to play around things, it's better to. This is a very odd conflict. So he doesn't break, but he does win the ring to bow the Neat and Adept. So maybe defending was fine now, but we didn't think Scorpion was gonna break twice anyway.
I think Fordream decided I'm just gonna accept that this will be a. So what do you do? Or I think Ozil just accepted. Okay, I'm gonna let him win but not break. I'm fine with that. It's gonna slow me down for this turn, but it means he can't kill me, and hopefully I can do some breaking of my own.
So the last province is public forum.
Ozil passes.
No,
that's a bit of a surprise.
He passes priority. He doesn't pass. He doesn't pass. Oh, you think you would have stood Yokuni?
Oh yeah. I would stand Yokuni and then swing Earth here.
He's doing Earth at public forum.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I mean,
I would stand Yokuni and then do double military Earth against the pilgrimage probably.
I don't think.
I don't know. Maybe Kachiko can defend that. Yeah, Kachiko.
Exactly.
But then maybe you stand again and go back on political. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the thing is, Ozil doesn't have Ozil's only has 2 bonsais in his deck, so he might not. It's plausible for him not to have a bonsai, and that
he might be able to double tap public forum this turn.
He could also have drawn the 3rd Pathfinder's Blade.
That's true. But if so, I would use it to stand Yokuni and then go.
That's fair. I would agree with that.
Oh wow, this is a political conflict.
That is very strange.
Well, maybe he was trying to bait out Kachiko?
I guess. You just open yourself up to court games, and prior to this court games being played, Scorpion had not played...
It's a court games trade, though. Maybe he was doing it to try to honor his...
We can see an edict here?
Oh, but Rumor Monger.
Oh, yep, Rumor Monger is so good.
Rumor Monger's a do-nothing card a lot of the time, or it's just a 2-2, but when it's good, it's good.
Nix was saying you could have used Yokuni to copy Rumor Monger prior to playing your court games.
I think he's going to copy Niten Master, because we know he has those weapons. Wow, and he doesn't do anything to contest this conflict. He just lets Fordream have it. So that didn't go so good. So...
Oh, he did air also, by the way. He did not do Earth.
Oh, wow. That's a mistake.
So he doesn't...
And now Kachiko's going to come in for Earth. Kachiko's going to break, and that's going to be...
He needs to play his weapons. He needs to play his weapons to stand his guy.
Yeah, he needs to pre-play both Daishos right now. It looks like he sees it.
Okay, so Yokuni stands, and he's going to stand Neat Master, hopefully. Yep, there we go.
Yep, there we go. And that also... Oh, okay. So you know what? Now maybe he can crack Pilgrimage.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So
it might have been a big ruse.
So he's got 3, and he's got 4.
He discards a Miramoto's Fury, which has unfortunately not been drawn at the right time.
Well, that means he had it in his hand, so he just chose not to Fury the Yojimbo.
Fury and the Yojimbo would have made it 2-2, so he would have had to play another card to actually win, and he probably didn't want to do that. Because of the Imperial favor.
Did he not have just like I guess if he didn't have a throwaway attachment to use his Stronghold?
Yeah, that's true.
You could have just thrown it.
I bet now we see the big military attack against the Pilgrimage.
Absolutely.
And, I will say, despite what I would consider maybe some mistakes or problems, I actually think Dragon's going to be in a pretty good spot if he gets this break.
One thing to note, it did come up in a prior game, is this Pilgrimage is 6 strength. Back Alley Hideaway does have +1.
Yeah, that's true. If he neglects that, he could find himself in a world of hurt. He has more than 6 strength already.
He does. We could see another Yojimbo on defense here.
Yeah, that's true. Strength 7, Fire Ring to honor the Niten Master. Probably that seems pretty good.
I agree.
And he is going to get that Daisho back from Ancestral Daisho. By the way, is a very strong card.
I think
when
ancestral
they
weapons
combine.
in general, especially when games go this long and the bids start winding down, and you see less
Yeah.
and less cards, your ancestral weapons get seen every single time.
Here comes the Yojimbo to defend. We're
Yup.
now at 7-4. So in order to
He
get
needs
the
to get to
break,
10.
yeah, he needs to get to 10. So he needs 3 more strength to get this break, and it's going to be pretty important. If he doesn't get this break, by the way, I would have gone Void here. I think
To avoid
there's an argument for Fire, but I think Void is pretty sick.
the rumormonger.
It would void the rumor monger, but also with this Yojimbo coming out, he could just void the Yojimbo, who's probably a better target for it.
Okay, so we do see one of the 2 bonsais, and we don't have it.
Yeah.
There's no edict from Scorpion.
Has Scorpion just not drawn another edict? That's unfortunate.
He either that or he's just.
I would edict. Well, maybe Scorpion also
we
has
see a
bonsai.
calling in favors.
Oh, that's actually pretty. Oh, he did the wrong one though. That's a bit of a gaffe. He should calling in favors against the one that is on Yokuni.
Yep.
Oh, Ozil passes. Ah, he's out.
And Pilgrimage cancels the ring.
All right, so that sequence of events means that Dragon is now actually quite disadvantaged going into the next turn.
I agree. We're gonna have.
He needed to get the win there he needed to get the break there in order to put Scorpion way on the back foot, and now. Well, okay, so I will say in Dragon's defense, he hasn't played very many let goes, and he does have the rally to the cause, which can maybe ruin the first attack.
If he had a let go, if he has a let go in his hand, he should have let go that reprieve to kill that Yojimbo.
Oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah, so probably he doesn't have it, and so now he's facing 2 coverts, but it is 2 coverts into rally. But even so, I'm not like
you can also scout.
What luck! What luck! Favorable ground. That's going to improve his odds immensely.
One thing to note is you can just send the rumormonger in to trigger rally.
Yeah, that's true. Shoju no fate. Scorpion's going for the throat. If Scorpion doesn't win this turn, he'll be in big trouble. But he's going to try to close the game right now.
Yes, Dragon should do everything they possibly can to not die this turn, and they have a chance.
Dragon should probably Yaruma and Swordsmith.
I think that's what he's gonna do.
Yaruma can flip down Feast or Famine, and that re-enables the Oh, but he won't have the money for it, so that's actually kind of bad. I wouldn't have put a fate on the Swordsmith here.
It also he can go for Void first. Void's not even good.
Oh yeah, Dragon's first player. Good point.
Yeah, but like the Void Ring isn't even that good right now.
Yeah, he really wants to go Water here, I think. Maybe he goes Void just for the fate. I don't know. We'll see. What are the bids here? That's another important question.
2-1.
2-1. Okay.
So we're even on cards, but big honor lead for the Scorpion.
Yeah, Dragon's dangerously low on honor now. I think Dragon's actually quite at a disadvantage in this situation. We'll see if he manages to pull it out.
Click for Snare making a good point. He maybe should have put 1 fate on Shoju to protect from watering.
Yeah. I think I think in this situation you actually go for Water on public form as Dragon.
What's also one thing to note is Nyx commented that you can mill Void, flip rally, and doesn't matter, and then you can do political, and play Hero away from back LA Hideaway. And so then you'd covert 2 guys and you'd have a 7 and a 4 on political. Because the Yojimbos can covert on political attacks.
Yeah, I think you gotta watch out though. I think Dragon should be going for a Water attack to bow Shoju. I think 1 fate on Shoju would have been better, even with potential back alley hideaway play.
For sure.
Now I think also in this situation you have to go to public form. Which makes me think, maybe Dragon should have gone for public forum last turn.
Yeah, public forum and Void, right? Because then they would have been in a much better spot here.
Yeah, I think so.
There's the Pathfinder's Blade. Oh,
that's a giant misplay.
Yeah, why did he play it now? Maybe he thought he was first player for a second?
Yeah, you should not play that until you know whether or not you're getting bad out. No, I think
now he absolutely has to win Water.
Yeah, it's gotta be military Water, I think.
You think Mill? You could do Paul with your Yoruma.
Paul Yuruma. Yeah, actually, political water on Yuruma. That's pretty good. He can block with Shoju, but then Shoju's out anyway.
Yeah, and you can favor, and then you can.
Has he used his swordsmith yet? He got a katana. That's actually quite good. He really
Okay,
likes
so
seeing
he's
katana.
gonna mill here then. He's gonna mill.
Mill with swordsmith only. That's goofy.
No. Master's highlighted.
Oh.
I would send the Shugenja maybe on mill, and then leave the
Yeah,
swordsmith
I
back.
would too, but we'll see what he does. If he he isn't an idiot. I thought for a moment he was doing political, and I was
No,
like, that would
he
be
milled
interesting to
milled
see.
with the master, and just the master. This is so risky. Like, if I'm Fordream, I just defend with this five mil Yojimbo and be like, okay, I want Choju. And then you
Yeah,
and then you just Paul Void on the stronghold, and if your Pathfinder's blade is still there, and you just crush him. You covert the Yoruma, and then Shoju can kill the swordsmith.
may have a let go for Pathfinder's blade though.
I mean, he needs to, and he needs to hope Scorpion has not drawn a Forge Edict.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm thinking Scorpion has a better shot at it personally.
It just depends on how the Scorpion blocks. If I was a Scorpion player here, I would block with my 5 strength Yojimbo. And making it 6, so that puts you out of range of Bonsai too. And it forces a weapon with Bonsai.
He defends with Rumor Monger and Yojimbo.
I guess he's just confident that Shoju plus Hero is enough to break. And yeah,
Goazil just takes a pass.
Yep. All right.
So if this ends up being a political conflict, Fine Katana stands Nintendo Master, of course.
Here's the important thing. Does Ozil have let go? He needs it.
Yeah, he does. The other thing is that Niten Master can't actually fight Shoju. He'll just get killed.
Yeah, so Shoju immediately kills Niten Master and can -1 any of the other characters.
This is a bad situation. Does Ozil have the let go? It is crucial now. Will we see it? No let go. I think that's going to be it, but we'll see. He does have 7 strength of... He does have 7 strength of political.
Oh, Kalimsha in chat is saying that he could go air and threaten a dishonor victory also, because you can't defend with your Niten Master because he just gets killed.
Yeah. Yeah, air is a good option here.
You could also
air or void.
Kalimsha, you could also go void and play your. He has
Oh no, wait, no, but back alley hideaway can't play into conflict. So
you can't play into conflict. Okay. I always forget. I don't know how that card works realistically.
Is he going in with Shoju only?
Does he not want to covert? Like, if he just coverts the Yoruma.
Or maybe he sees the favorable ground. He's like, covert's pointless.
That's true. If he attacks with
Or
just
he wants
Shoju,
to have like a threatening mill later. I don't know. This is a weird game, man.
if he doesn't break this turn, I think Dragon might be okay.
Yeah, I agree. But Scorp will be going first next turn also. It's just that he'll be going first with no board.
No board, and all Dragon has to do is not get dishonored here. I think if they survive a dishonor victory, they might be fine. They're gonna get their Daisho back too, because it's on this
That Daisha doing work.
So he's gonna PFB, he's gonna Pathfinder's Blade this rally. Hopefully Ozil doesn't make poor defenses and respects Shoju's ability to kill his guys. So if you defend... So he's going fire. Why fire?
Beats me, man. No, fire's not horrible. He can dishonor a guy.
Sure, but wouldn't it be better to go... I guess then you can go air next turn.
Wait. Is Ozil really not sending in the?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Just not done.
I would say if he just defends with Yuruma, he's dead on board.
Yeah, I'm like I don't think I see the effectiveness of that strategy. So let's say you're Ozil. What do you do next? Assuming that you hold off here. You do
You have a political attack left?
Yeah, do you do I guess you do political into public forum?
Yeah, I mean, political air probably. You need to.
Yeah, political error, try to get the two fate.
Yeah,
Or
political
try to
air.
get the two
That's
honor.
actually that's a reason that I think Scorpion should have gone air over fire. Is you give your opponent two honor instead of one.
Okay, let's see. Ozil just passes.
So has Scorpion's played one fan, so Scorpion has access to two more Paul from there, and a Core Games is two more, so they have access to four.
He mistakenly, I think, uses court games to dishonor it, and
No. This will kill him. He need so if if Ozil doesn't win Air Ring, then he loses.
oh, but he's got the rumor monger, so he's gonna go for the kill on Yurima.
Oh wow! So we need an attachment. We need an attachment on Yurima right now. Oh no!
Oh, court games gets canceled, so now he's gonna shoju Yurima, and now he has to play an attachment. I think.
No, it doesn't matter because if he plays an attachment, that's an action, and then he dies. He needs a specifically a Paul attachment. He could have played any attachment and then
Yeah, that's what I mean. A Paul attachment.
Yeah.
He needs a. Oh, and actually, he doesn't have any fate, so he specifically needs an ornate fan, of which he has 0 remaining. So Yurima's gonna die. Oh, he could run away with Yurima, but that's also not so good.
it doesn't lose him an honor immediately.
Could let him kill you. This is a very bad situation.
Yeah, see, so if Scorpion had just done air here, he wins on the spot. He's moving the Swordsmith in.
That's stupid. He's doing that too early. Because now it's favorable to kill Swordsmith with Shoju. He should wait for Shoju to use his ability on Yurima.
Yeah.
That's actually really bad because Yurima dying will also give Dragon a fate, which will give him some more plays. So obviously, Scorp will prefer to just kill the Swordsmith. I think that's a very significant mistake.
Yep. Shoju taps the Swordsmith.
Yep, this was that was I think a really actually very big error.
Yeah,
on the
because
part of the
if
Dragon
Ozil
player.
had survived that storm with the Swordsmith and play next turn, that's a huge thing because it's another card he gets to see.
No, to make matters worse, it means the Yojimbo will be able to sneak in unopposed.
No, he can stand the Master again. He has a fine
Like covert,
katana. Oh, he used it already, huh?
covert.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that using that favorable grounds is gonna be the death of the.
Yeah, using that favorable ground was a big mistake for multiple reasons, and so
He can go air and go to 4, which will unopposed bring him to 3, and dishonor dying will bring him to 2 again. But I think the Scorpion might have a bonsai too.
this isn't looking good for the Dragon player.
Oh, Ozil thought that Shoju had used his ability already.
Well, yeah, that would have been the time when it was correct to bring in Swordsmith, but he messed that one up. Okay, so now Ozil's in huge trouble, but he's not quite dead yet.
Oh yeah, Kalimsha's saying it doesn't matter. The earring doesn't matter because Scorpion goes for void. No, what? It has to be Paul. He's already done his mill attack.
Strange.
Very as the game has gone on, it looks like yeah, it looks like Ozil has started to kind of lose it. The mental game is very realistic in these games. Like, you do have to have your mental about you.
Yep.
This this play here signifies that Ozil might have a Fury. That is his only saving grace right now.
That would actually be very hype, I won't lie. He doesn't even get the break, though.
Well, he's dead. He just dies to 2 Dishonored characters in play right now.
Yeah, this is... No, he might have a reprieve.
Oh
but then
yeah,
he'll
yeah,
die
yeah.
to-
Yeah, reprieve is pretty hype.
But then actually no, but he'll die anyway because he won't have the fate for the reprieve if he Muramoto's this. I
Oh,
gotta
yep.
say, I think that I think Goazil had the stuff he needed, but I think he
Yeah,
misplayed
I
it
think
on this
Ozil had
one.
a chance. I think Ozil had a chance to not lose, but I think he didn't play his last turn optimally.
I think he a little squandered, unfortunately, a little squandered. I also think, earlier there were some mistakes. I think the favorable ground was misused on turn 2 with Red Sugu.
The right Sugu turn, yeah.
I think he played that conflict character he didn't need to. There were a few other things. I think ultimately I think this was a close one, but the Scorpion player just played a tight game.
Um,
We're gonna do the interview here.
yeah, Fordream said he was up for it, so I just have to add him on Discord so I can add him to the call.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, man? If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
hmm.
It looks like we're having a little bit of mic issues here with Fordream. He's in the call though, so. While we're waiting for his mic to fix, did you have any closing thoughts on this game, Kingsley?
No, I thought that was an interesting game, and I think that ultimately, there were some close moments on both sides. Ultimately, I do think that the Scorpion player here outplayed his opponent. There were several mistakes on both sides, but I think the more substantial ones were made by the Dragon player in this case.
That's fair. A final note about this game: you can tell it's a Scorpion game because there's 6 characters that are Dishonored in play right now.
Yeah, and both players have not huge honor totals. Actually, the one mistake that really stands out to me as being significant by the Scorpion player was not using the Shameful that one time.
Oh yeah, yeah. To make the to make him use Pathfinder's Blade.
In terms of things that are just like objective mistakes. But yeah. Though even then, there's some argument that it was some kind of weird save it for later strategy. I just typically don't necessarily value that.
Looks like Fordream is typing. Oh.
Fordream says, unfortunately, he thinks the mic portion of his soundboard is busted, so we may not get this interview after all. We're asking him in text if he has anything that he'd want to add.
Or kind of say on his part.
Yep.
We'll give you the customary congratulations though, because it looks like you can hear us.
Yeah, congratulations to Fordream for picking up the win in this match, and best of luck in the rest of the league.
Yeah, it looks like I actually think he's in one of the parts of the bracket that has not been. Oh no, he's not. Fordream will be playing against another Scorpion player, Shoshiro Sakuya, who beat Humblest Monk, who I heard was a pretty good Scorpion player. So, Scorpion Mirror.
Battle of the Scorpion Mirrors over there in that sector of the bracket.
Fordream saying that he appreciates for streaming, he appreciates the community, and the league community for just being awesome. All right. You real quick. You're playing a Scorpion Mirror next round. How do you feel? Like, what's your opinion on the Scorpion Mirror? Oh, he's saying it's really hard. That's fair.
That is, it's a complicated mirror, and it's made more complicated by deck building for it or not.
Yeah. Tech choices for the mirror are very interesting. Oh, Fordream saying if it's Dragon Splash, he's unfavored. Let me go ahead and check for you.
Yeah, let's check it. Look at that deck list and tell him whether or not he's gonna face the Dragon Splash, the Crab Splash, or something out of left field.
I don't know who this person is on this deck list sheet because their name on this bracket is not the same as
As the deck list name.
Yeah, I actually can't find their deck list because I don't know who it is.
Well, sorry for that.
Yep, you'll have to find out on your own, dude. Sorry. Yeah, and then you guys aren't playing any actresses, which is or an actress favored niece to discard your Way of the Scorpions.
Yeah, favored niece is normally. So the two ways to improve the Scorpion Mirror when building Scorpion are to, one, put favored niece in your deck, discard your Way of the Scorpions if you draw them. Two, put fewer Way of the Scorpions. Some people are playing only 2 copies.
Yeah, even though it is very powerful, it is just not playable in the mirror.
Well, I mean, you can play it, like, if the opponent is playing neutrals, you can play it, and if the opponent is playing
Fordream is
do completely nothing.
Fordream is saying that he cut the niece because it lost you other matches, which is very fair. It loses you percentage points in one matchup, but gains you percentage points in a lot more matchups.
It depends on what you're building for, really. I personally think the niece is actually not that bad, but
I don't think she's bad, but I don't think I don't think she's impactful enough for her fake cost. I think I would be more into her if she looted. I don't know if you know the terms looting. Do you know what that means, Kingsley?
Nope.
So in Magic, there's two different terms. There's looting and rummaging. Looting means you draw first and then discard a card. So you get more information. And favorite niece is the opposite. She's what's called a rummager, where you have to discard first.
I do think running the favorite niece also lets you do a little riskier plays. Like, I think my Scorp is still actually on 3 assassination.
Oh, so you can just discard
yeah, because I love seeing assassination, especially on Scorp. And then if I see, if I have copies that I can't play, the niece can fix them.
Yeah, okay. Fordream is also commenting that 3 assassination is good with niece.
Yeah.
Cut to 1 and no niece. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, also, that assassination was huge to get rid of that tooled up adept with a fate on it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I do have people who are watching. I do have, I think, 2 more games coming tonight. So we'll see. I'll post in the channel when the games are gonna be streamed. I think I have around a 32 match. I have Jokingly versus Kira mode, which is gonna be another Crab versus Lion match. So I think Kingsley won't be here for that one. So I'm gonna try and get someone from Crab Chat to cast that one with me. Hopefully Vince, because people love his voice. And then I think hopefully tonight Davis will be back from his tournament and we can cast the Miramoto Kai versus Kakita or Asahina Aki, which will be a Dragon vs Crane.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll let you guys go, and again, congratulations to Fordream.
Yep, good game, guys.
All right, take care.